You are tuned in to If It Wasn't for Art, your one-stop shop for everything related to art and culture. I am your host of Fox, and this is episode 4, and we're paying homage to all of the ladies. Not just the ladies in hip-hop, but some of the women that truly inspired me and was a part of my upbringing. Um, yeah, so let's get started. First up, I want to just honor my grandmother, Dorothy. She was the first advocate that I had for the arts. She was very instrumental and very vocal about how important art is to all of us in our family. She wrote poems, political poems. She always sent us home with like a trinket, a flute. So she was definitely my inspiration when it comes to poetry and being a free spirit and expressing myself. Next up is my mother, Tanya. May she rest in peace. My mother was really into fashion. My aunt Carol, she always told me stories about how her and my mom would like organize these fashion shows. She also was big on dance, and just my mother was such a light, and she's always with me, and I just wanted to honor her too. My sisters, my little sister, my big sister, all of my cousins from DC and Baltimore, their children and their families, they're always just with me. A lot of times I honor them in my sets. And yeah, like they were always fly and just like bosses. Who else? My Aunt Dina. So my Aunt Dina did not have any children, but she would take all of us. She would like pick a summer and have us come down and be with her. She lived in New York at the time, and she was the first entrepreneur in my family, first female entrepreneur. She would allow me to work the flea markets with her. We would go to Manhattan and Brooklyn, and I would always like look for Jay-Z when we crossed the Brooklyn Bridge. Like, yo, I had my bars ready. I might bump into Jay-Z. But she would send me to camp during the week, and on the weekends, she kind of taught me the importance of customer service and just being able to talk to anyone. She sold crystals, and I was always amazed at like how many people would come over to her table and just spend money on rocks. So my Aunt Dina was so instrumental in my upbringing. Uh, who else? My Aunt Rennie, may she rest in peace. My Aunt Shirley, my Aunt Shy. So my Aunt Shy, I believe she was a social worker, and she also was a special ed teacher in Germantown, and her house was like my safe haven. It was the house where I was able to watch all the videos on a box that I wanted to without interruption. They had a floor length, like floor model TV. It was huge, like a movie theater, a finished basement, and they would just give me the remote and just let me be at peace. And I would study all of the albums and CDs and just fell in love with the art hip hop at my Aunt Shy's house. So may she rest in peace. My stepmother, gotta honor her as well. And all of the women that just poured into me as a kid. I truly appreciate them, the women in my family. I also want to honor the women in my educational background. In previous episodes, I spoke about how I was introduced to the arts in elementary school as well. So shout out to my third grade teacher, Miss Ill. I don't know if she'll see this. I hope she's okay. But Miss Ill, she would encourage me to journal. My teacher in fourth grade, Miss Gear, she was also very instrumental when it came to encouraging me to express myself. She would open our classes up with salutations. She always introduced us to like different vocabulary words that I would fall in love with and try to use in my rhymes or a poem. I also had Black female principal at Dunbar Elementary School. So shout out to Dr. Kinney. She was so fly. She showed me just how Black women can lead with grace and style. She would come outside and during our recess or play days and jump double dutch with us. So she always made me feel really seen. And I will forever appreciate her for that. I hope she's okay too, Dr. Kinney. My music teachers in middle school when I moved to South Philly, that's Miss Frazier, and rest in peace to Miss Roebuck. And my dance teacher in high school, rest in peace to Faye Snow. Oh man, her class was no joke. She did not play any games, and she taught me so much, just how to lead and how to be firm and disciplined. So yeah, shout out to all of the women that kind of just encouraged me in my upbringing. So yeah. All right, so let's get into the women that encouraged, inspired me through hip hop that I fell in love with. In previous episodes, I told y'all already about how much I love Lauryn Hill and how I was able to meet her when I was a kid. But L Boogie to me is my biggie, right? So I feel like women add so much value to hip hop, and they should be taken seriously just as much as we take the greats seriously. So I'm gonna, compare her to Big. Now I say L Boogie is my biggie because she didn't have a lot of material. Big also lost his life early, so he didn't have a lot of material either. However, both of their catalogs still holds up. It's still acknowledged to this day as being a pioneer, historical, and just like legendary. So L Boogie is definitely my big. Who we got next? Next up, you ready? Next up is Foxy Brown. I let you guys know on previous episodes that my rap name pays homage to two females in hip hop. Foxy Brown is one of them. When I tell you, I feel like she does not get enough credit for what she just brought to the game. Like, she wasn't just like an addition to a song, she was competing. A lot of times she had the top verses, and I would say Foxy Brown is my Nas. She's my Nasir Jones. Yeah, she held her own on every record, sometimes had the best verse on a Nas song. Like, how do you do that? Even like some of the Jay-Z records, like she was like, man, she was really killing it. So she has one of my favorite deliveries in hip hop ever. And yeah, Foxy Brown. She's my Nas. So next up we have Little Kim. So if I'm gonna pay homage to Foxy Brown, I gotta pay homage to Little Kim as well. Little Kim is iconic. Her imprint can be seen throughout the game. She influenced so many people. She's totally iconic, and Kim is my jigga, Jay-Z. Not because of her lyrics or anything, but because of her iconic status, how she's able to just still be relevant throughout eras. And yeah, she's a boss too, so Little Kim is my Jay-Z. Now, this female MC is constantly left out of the conversation, and I don't like it, not one bit. She is from Philly. She was a fire starter and a firecracker. She was a part of one of my favorite groups, female groups in history. And she was from Philly. Like I said, she was from Philly. She was from Philly. Left Eye, rest in peace to Left Eye. She had bars on features. She always took songs up a notch. And one of my favorite verses was on Ladies Night. How she was like, well, they say women don't take accountability. But in that verse, she said, I be the one to blame as the flames keep rising to the top and it don't stop. I always find that part just to be hilarious. Like, how she go a troll bull like on the record? It was so Philly. But yeah, like her interviews were always like just so authentic and just transparent. And I'll say Left Eye is my Tupac. Yeah, she's my Pac. So next up, we have Roxanne Shante. It was dope to see her be acknowledged and to receive a Grammy for her work. That's like major. And to me, Roxanne Shante, she is my big daddy. Kane. Yep, yep. Next, we have MC Light. So I just saw MC Light at her One of One tour. It was phenomenal. When I tell you, like, she has the best voice in hip hop history ever. Her pocket is crazy. Like, she still sounds amazing. To see her up there doing what she loves, like 50 something years later, is amazing. Yeah, the beats that she rhymed off of uh, was perfect. I love break beats, but yeah, MC Light is crazy talented, and she is my Rakim. Yeah, MC Light is my Rakim. Next we have Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah, man, when I heard UNITY, it just made me proud to be a woman. Like, I didn't always feel happy about being a girl, but when I discovered Queen Latifah and how just raw she was and how she like put hands on people in her bars, I'm just like, oh snap, I can do that. So yeah, Queen Latifah, man, just so innovative, and she is my KRS1. Next, we have Salt and Pepper. My big sister introduced me to Salt and Pepper. Salt and Pepper reminded me of all of my cousins. They were super fly girls. They were colorful and just playful, and they owned their sexuality. And seeing them as a young girl was really empowering. And I'll say Salt and Pepper is my kid in play. Missy Elliott, man. So a friend surprised me with tickets to see Missy, her Out of This World tour when they came to Philly. It was her, Busta Rhymes, and Sierra. And when I tell you that was one of the best concerts I've ever seen in my life, it was extremely creative, colorful, the dancing, the wardrobe, like, man, Missy is incredible. Just growing up, watching videos and seeing her on TV was just like a movie. Like, couldn't ask for anything better. I'm just so proud and happy that I was able to grow up in that era to be able to experience that. She really owned who she was and who she is as an artist. She's the definition of artistry to me. And Missy, she's my Busta Rhymes. Ready. Next, we have Trina. Trina is my trick daddy. She came on the scene raw, just natural. She does not get enough credit when it comes to just being a natural woman. She didn't have any like enhancements or like put pressure on, women to look a certain way. She totally embraced her natural curves. And she was the first to kind of make me feel like, okay, I can embrace my body type. I didn't always feel, proud or happy or comfortable in my own skin when it comes to my body shape. But when I heard, whoop, whoop, pull over that, too bad, I was like, oh, all right, this might not be too bad. So shout out to Trina. She's my trick daddy. Next, we have Nicki Minaj. Nicki is a bar lord. Just watching her come up from like the DVD era and make that transition to like pop and just writing amazing songs that like top the charts. She had, well, she's still killing it, but she had such an amazing run without like any competition. She was competing with the boys, and not only was she competing with the boys, she was like destroying it. So she really reminded me of Foxy Brown, how Foxy Brown used to body all of the features. That was just Nicki, and yeah, Nicki's dope. Nicki Minaj is my Lil Wayne. Yeah. Now, this MC is often left out of the conversation, and I don't like it. So, I am going to pay homage to Shauna from DTP. Shauna, yo, she be killing it like a lot. She's still killing it. When she first came on the scene, I just was like, who is this with this flow? Like, her flow is immaculate. Her bar is incredible, and yeah, she's still killing it. So Shauna from DTP, she is my twister. Now this MC is from the city of Philly, and just made me feel like, dang, I could do this, right? So I remember it was like the summer in South Philly. I'm riding my bike. It had to be like ninth grade or something like that, and I hear like this poppy store beat. Like every car is playing it. And I'm like, who is this rhyming on this poppy store beat? It was Eve. I'm like, yo, she is killing it. Then I remember seeing a video. I'm just like, what? So yeah, she never compromised herself. I mean, she embraced her femininity, but she never watered down her bars. I really appreciated that balance. She was also just like a boss. So watching her have like her show and do fashion, it all was just like really, really inspiring. She's often left out of the conversation as well, but yeah, Eve is incredible. So Eve is my Jadakiss. Next up, man, we got the Brat. Yeah, I told y'all my rap name pays homage to two female rappers. One is Foxy Brown, the other is the Brat. I remember when I first heard Funkdafied, it was just like music to my ears. She was so laid back with her flow, and her hairstyle was like really cool. She was like a tomboy, but like her style and her flow just always reminded me of Snoop. So the Brat is my Snoop Dogg. So we're gonna take it back to Philly, and this MC does not get enough credit to me. I remember being in my aunt Shot's basement watching a box, and I would see this video. She had like this red windbreaker and this afro and a gap, and I'm just like, who is this? And her tone was like none other. So I'm just like, what? So fast forward, I'm walking to school. I used to live on South Street. I told you guys in previous episodes, but I'm walking to school and I see this afro, and I'm like, I know this afro. So I look, she turned around, I'm like, it's Bahamadia, right? So I was able to just meet Bahamadia on a random when I was younger. When I started doing mixtapes and stuff, I was like promoting, and she caught wind of like my bars and music or whatever, and she reached out because she was doing a DVD for women, right? So she like, I'm riding around, I'm getting footage. What's up? I'm gonna pull up on you. So at the time, I had my son. I had just dropped him off, at his other side, and I was waiting on his dad to come. So I'm like, I'm in mommy mode, like I don't. And she like, girl, where you at? I'm pulling up on you. So I'm like, all right. So I told her where I was at. She pulled up on me. I got out. I came out the house, spit or whatever for the DVD. My son is probably in the window watching me like rhyme on this footage. But she taught me a valuable lesson to never let just being a mom or like don't let anything stop you from pursuing your goals and doing what it is that you want to do for yourself. It could be pursuing your dreams, going to school. Just it's not easy, but it can be done. And I appreciate her for that. That always stood and stuck with me. So thank you, Bahamadia. She probably do not remember me. I don't know if she'll ever see this, but I remember her, and I appreciated that message. And Bahamadia is my Black thought. Yeah. Now this MC is from Philly also. I remember seeing some of her videos in high school, and she also made me feel like becoming a rapper or artist is like tangible. It wasn't something that was like far-fetched and couldn't be done. So shout out to Miss Jade. She is super talented, and Miss Jade is my freeway. Y'all gotta let me know how y'all feel about this selection. So this last but not least, MC, man, when I tell you, when I heard her mixtape, I was like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, I might want to like pick something else to do because I don't think I can be this good. I was studying phlebotomy, trying to get my certificate, and I came across this mixtape. I think it was called Boss B. She had like this hood on with the fur. It was just her face. And I'm like, I'm talking about Nina Ross, y'all. Nina Ross, her bars top tier, her pen top tier. Like dudes wasn't messing with her. Like she was like one of the illest, one of the most talented females to ever come out of the city. I feel like she does not get enough credit. Yeah, and she's my favorite female rapper from the city. And yeah, she's my beans. Nina Ross is my beanie Siegel. All right, so that concludes this episode of If It Wasn't for Art, highlighting all of the females. Yep, highlighting all of the females that inspired me, just art-wise, MC-wise, and this beautiful, beautiful queen that recently transitioned. I want to dedicate this episode to her. I had no clue. She was a hip hop pioneer and B-girl. So, yes, it's so important to acknowledge and highlight the women in hip hop, and in the arts, can, completely, but especially in hip hop. I feel like a lot of times we are not acknowledged. And yeah, I would like to see that change. So hopefully this episode will kind of put the spotlight on the women and get the conversation going. There's some females I forgot to mention, like Babs Bunny from Making a Band. She used to kill it. Oh my God. Who else? Rod Digger. It's always like super dope. Ladybug. Man, there's so many women in the culture of hip hop that I just, love and would like to see be honored more often. Shout out to all of the girls in Philly that's coming up, the Lottos, the Tierra Wax, and hopefully more women and more young girls pick up the microphone and share what's on their mind. We have so much to say. So, yeah, so you guys can find me on Instagram. I am the Fox, that's D-A, like the bread. Fox, that's Phoxx, like Philadelphia, on Instagram, or Coffee or Tea Philly. If you want to get in contact with us, you can reach out to ifitwasn'tforart@gmail.com. If you would like to be a guest, if you would like to be a sponsor, please reach out. Get connected. I am looking for some designers. I've been wearing like really plain things. So just imagine your logo here. If you are a Black-owned designer and you would like for me to film in your brand, reach out and let's see how we can make that happen. This concludes this episode 4, highlighting the women in hip hop and the women that, inspired me throughout my life. Also, shout out to all of the women that's a part of If It Wasn't for Art. Yeah. Peace. So I also want to shout out all of the women, the young ladies from the Juvenile Justice Center that I was able to connect with. I was able to volunteer and just spend a day with some young women. We talked about life. We talked about owning our mistakes and, just dreaming of the future, setting goals. We talked about motherhood, the importance of waiting if you can, and defining the type of mother you would like to be. So I had an amazing time, and they gave me this self-care bag. Let's see what's inside. I think this is a little mirror. They hooked me up with a mirror. Some lavender. What else? Some lavender hand cream. And also some shower steamers. So shout out to the ladies and the staff at the Juvenile Justice Center. It is never too late to turn things around and to define yourself and to create the life that you want to see. So shout out to the ladies, and thank you for the